Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live on a Saturday night. Welcome to a sensational Saturday here with the Wrasslin for Life Network, your channel for fans, by fans, your alternative commentary to all the wrestling. And tonight is no exception. We're getting AEW Dynamite tonight. Me and that pretty face going to run you through all the action. We're going to talk a lot of wrestling. We're going to have a fun night. Grab your snacks, grab your feel good, put a smile on your face, and let's have a good one. Let's go. Ding, ding, ding. We are live, and so is the show. We got the Acclaimed, or that was the Acclaimed. We got FTR as well, dropping a little pre-show promo. We are ready to go, and it's going to be a good one here tonight. As I said, folks, we are the Wrasslin for Life Network, and we have all your action. Make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Be a part of the family. Be a member. Tell a member. Pause. But we got a lot to talk about, a lot to get into. Apparently, we got a new alum in the WWE, and we'll talk about that as well. But I am Mr. Every Night, KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube, and I brought my friend.
Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrasslin for Life Network proudly brings to you its YouTube tag stream champions of the world, the Every Night Delight, KJ White. I am Big Nick, and yes, we've got CMFTR versus the House of Black. I almost started to go into ABC 1, 2, 3. Right, LMNOP. But we've even got the Acclaimed versus Kanosaurus and Christian Cage.
Yeah, I mean, that continues to be the story of the TNT title with Christian Cage, holding that belt essentially, but Luchasaurus doing a lot of the leg work. We'll see where that goes. And again, a kind of a very interesting booking, Nick, a bit surprising, but we are getting the Trios Championship on the line against CMFTR.
Now tonight we're in North Carolina. Come on and raise up. Could that lead to maybe CMFTR? No one wants to see us take our shirts off. Could that lead to CMFTR winning tonight?
It could. I think no. I think Ricky Starks causes them to lose.
Oh, okay.
But could they win? Then yeah, I mean, then you got two belts on the FTR. And then you have this big epic match. The Bucks beat
almost like
FTR.
I talked about for All In.
The Bucks beat FTR at All In, and then they lose the Trios belts to the Elite at All Out. And then the Bucks and the Elite have all the belts. Go get the other one.
See, no. Now you went full Tony Khan with that. Never go full Tony Khan. Never go full Tony Khan.
But it's a possibility.
Speaking of not a possibility, though, Boston, I'd watch you take your shirt off. Pause for the fucking cause on that. No, thank you.
Hey, we will take money. Highest bidder.
Do something strange for a little piece of change.
Highest bidder.
What are we here now? 40595966677788888.
But we will say hello to the chat. Welcome back, folks. I know Nick and I are just kind of talking amongst ourselves, but welcome to the stream. Welcome to the show. I hope everyone's having a wonderful weekend. I hope everyone out there is happy, healthy, and safe, and you guys are ready for some more wrestling here with the channel as we have Tony Schiavone in the ring at the moment.
Bringing out absolute Ricky Starks here.
Ricky been prominent on this show.
Well, he might become one of their kind of top heels. There's been people that have more suggested instead of him. I know you've talked about or mentioned about him costing CMFTR because of that whole still situation, but it becomes a little awkward because of the House of Black involved. Of people, I think would try and draw a line there more. When I think he could end up more a member of the Bang Bang Gang.
I think that's still a possibility. I thought maybe they were leaning that way with some of the story that had already been building. Right. I mean, he is wearing a holster.
Bro, this man is just borrowing every bit of The Rock's looks just from the Attitude Era and trying to just put a 2023 spin on him, because I feel like this is his version of coming out in like the kind of cowboy vest that
exactly. Times. But man, Ricky Starks feels like a star. This entrance is epic. He's opening the show again. the pyro. Again, it's
the camera angle looking down like God. We are God looking down upon the almighty Ricky Starks here.
We've been beating the Ricky Starks drum for a long time. And I mean, he is legitimately one of my favorite in this company. And a guy that we always felt like, give him something better, give him more time, book him better. And Collision has been wonderful for Ricky Starks.
He's showing off his custom belt. Well, it's so interesting because going back to when
he whipped,
he was involved with MJF, and I know I thought initially they were gonna have him lose to MJF and we'd come back around full circle and it'd be the babyface going after the heel again. And oh, how the tides have turned, it seems.
Right. Got that one. You're
unbroken, hide in the bushes.
You're launched this bad boy already. Look, someone getting impatient. All right, JV, we're here.
You're starting to sound like Cage up here. Let's just fucking go.
Let's go. Look, I turned heel on Nick. Go Canada. I noticed that, Rocco.
Boo earns. And to think after this man's calling me the godfather of the Wrasslin for life family and everything like that, I went and actually found, interesting enough, just happened across my path, an amaretto whiskey. So I was like, oh, okay. I'm out here being the Don. I feel like with the schoolboy cap and the new glasses and everything, I'm out here looking like Uncle Junior from the fucking Sopranos, just with a beard.
Right on. We got Ricky Starks in the ring with Tony, but yeah, buddy. I'm here, guys. Good to see you, Big Dog. Thank you for joining us again tonight. But he'll be right back. I don't know if he's back yet. Let's fucking go. Good to see you, Boston.
That's fine because Ricky looks like he's Backstreet Boys are back all right out here. So.
He looks like he wants it that way. Yep.
Pause.
Well,
accusations.
What's good, everyone? What's up, TJ Hook? Huong's in the house. How you doing? VHS back, as we've already mentioned. The real AEW. Ooh, big words, Nick.
No, accurate words. I would say.
Very much so.
Right.
It's becoming quickly, and I mean,
this is my freaking legacy.
You make this a destination, and that's what it's becoming. It really is.
This has been the only AEW show to not only gain viewership throughout its programming, but also struggles, honestly, to lose viewership of it. Once people tune in, they're in. And then they just proceed to gain viewership throughout it. You don't see those drop-offs. Like you start off at just under 1 million for Dynamite, and then they turn around and lose 200,000 by the end of the show.
Right. Absolutely. It's an ongoing issue for sure. AEW Collision, got that one. What's up? Who else we got in the house? Heather's here with us. How you doing, Heather? Good to see you. Keyshawn's back with us. Welcome. New face in the chat. Hey, you're the goats. Yeah, thank you.
Fucker, you beat me to it. I was about to just
but Ricky Starks is killing this promo, if anybody's paying attention right now. He is on fire.
Right.
Does
this make sense to you? Because this doesn't make sense to me.
What is stopping the face of CMFTR losing to the Elite, the Trios title at All Out, or FTR losing to the Young Bucks at All In? Ooh. The tag titles, I think, mean more in my head, but I could be biased. Losing both is going to...
Well, what if the Bucks are the ones that cost CMFTR?
That'd be very interesting. Very interesting.
Well, remember, Kenny said, and we'll be on Collision too.
Yeah. Gave that little tease.
Right.
Unbroken. What's KJ doing in auction? Yes, absolutely. Dun, 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 dun.
I'll start the bidding at 5 loonies.
Wow. Dude, I would have given you at least 10 to start.
Oh, fucker.
Starks out here with his Bob the Builder vest. He threw it away. He realized how it looked. On the way out, Nick, he chucked it. He got rid of it. There you go.
Can we throw it? Yes, we can.
Right. I was there when Horace fell.
Hogan?
All right, Boss Monster. What's up, Rory? Good to see you. Welcome on back as we get a package, a vignette for FTR. What's up, Bash? What else? We got lots of names clicking around. Alexis is here. TLD. I'm going to fly through some of your names here, and then we'll come back to some of these words. Kevin, welcome back. Jacoby, welcome back. This list is getting longer by the day, folks. I love it. Richard's back. I hope you're on those good vibes, Richard.
Well, he's saying he's babyface, so maybe he can't feel his face. We don't know.
Right. Paul's here. Brandon's in the house. Good to see you. That's more. Nathan's here.
Oh, yeah.
I hope I didn't miss anybody.
Nathan, if we have, then at this point, honestly, we got the super chats, the super stickers. Be a member, like you said, be a member, tell a member, just don't touch a member. Be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, and subscribe,
or touch a member.
Pause.
Do you, boo boo?
Fair enough. Do something strange for a little piece of change.
Listen, whatever floats your boat. Where are we going with this? So yeah, they're building up FTR a lot. They're hyping up All In. They're showing the. How did you feel about the standoff? We haven't really talked about it. It felt a little flat by a lot of the fans I've spoken to.
Right, but I like that the fact that the even commentaries acknowledging that there's a feud there for even the people who haven't really seen it on TV. If you know, you know, and it means that much more to you.
Yeah.
I'm just happy we're at least getting this because let's be honest, we've said for the longest time that we thought that the Bucks were going to hightail it and just avoid as much as they could. So the fact that we're getting this is a statement.
Sorry, I got Matt Castor coming out doing his thing.
Right. Always just losing my Greensboro. Man's gonna take flight. He's fucking vibrating so much.
Right.
Bear Country. They do still exist.
They do
exist. It's like Santa Claus with the M&M's commercial. They do exist.
So the Acclaimed gonna fight Bear Country tonight.
Well, they weren't formerly known as. The artist formerly known as Bear Country, just like how Schism's now the artist formerly known as the Grizzled Young Vets.
Yeah, and that's an interesting story.
Iron Savages.
Bronson and Boulder?
When Heavy Machinery and the Viking Raiders had a title, they made Iron Savages.
Let's go. All right. So we're all picking the Acclaimed, right? Is anybody going against the Acclaimed this eve? Against the Iron Savages. Big burly
I want to see more of the Iron Savages, though. God damn it.
Don't sell them short yet. Dude, this would be your biggest backslide ever.
You know what? Screw it. I will take the Iron Savages because I want them. I'm Bear Country. Yeehaw. I just want to. They're a tag team that initially everybody was kind of high on coming out of, their performances on Dark and more of the undercard of the tag team. And then they just disappeared.
Right. I mean, well, then that's been the case of a lot of the kind of the independent leaning talent that came in ended up floating in this, a dark abyss, so to speak.
That is true. That we at least know that Tony still has their number now.
Right. And then when Dark went away, you can only fit so many people on Ring of Honor. That's why I think the one night on Ring of Honor had like 18 matches, 20. Like, it was ridiculous. It was like, if you wanted to tune in and just watch the matches, it was great. But it was a lot of really quick matches, right? Not a lot of substance to the matches.
Right. Real out here saying it's scissor time.
By the way, speaking of that, Nick, the crowd was chanting, "Thank you, Daddy."
Well, I mean, Billy Gunn.
Yes.
There's that.
Fired.
Right. It's not the worst thing that they've chanted in regards to Billy Gunn, I would say, or feel.
Right. The only thing about Iron is if you drop them on your foot. Sorry, it moved on me. In the gym, or burn your clothes with it.
Nate's trying to spit bars out here.
There you go. I botched that completely because I was reading the
No, you're good. When you're like, it moved on me, I was like, it's a stationary comment.
Yeah, but I was reading the sidebar, and every time it would. Anyway, you guys don't need to hear my shit. I'm losing my mind. How are you today? Not for us. There you go. Well, is a deep subject, guys. It's not the, never mind.
Yes, I love it. Point ahead, look smart, big dog.
Right. It's not that there's a joke in there somewhere. Man, let Bear Country win and continue the story with the Acclaimed and their shell shock with Billy's retirement. There you go,
Fair
JB.
enough. But
oh shit.
Do we think that we get, as per usual in professional wrestling, that someone retires and then quickly unretires?
We've been there. We've been there several times, and we've also had moments like Mark Henry, of course, the infamous
salmon suit.
Yeah, there you go.
Never trust a man in the salmon suit.
Right now, Billy took the boots off and that, but they kind of sold it more, and they continued to sell it. So that's where you kind of like, okay, we see what's happening here. But then what happened?
Wearing salmon trunks when he put off the boots. When he took off the boots.
I do not believe they were salmon, but we'll have to go back and check the tapes.
Might be a variation of a pink in some form or another.
Okay. So if they talk Billy into coming back, then we have this big monumental moment. You would assume that would lead them to some type of trio success if you were going to do that story.
Well, what better trio to go against than a trio that allegedly retired Billy Gunn
with
the House of Black?
There you go. All right. Could work. Does Edge rank in the top 20 wrestlers of all time, in your opinion? Mark, great question.
Ooh. That's interesting, as we are in picture-in-picture right now, or at least I am.
Off the top of my head, I feel like he's closest. That's a tough one.
I almost want to say he is, just because you get that's top 20 still seems like such a big number.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, if it was top 5, no. Top 10, maybe, probably not. 15 and 20 beyond, you feel like you got some room he might slide in there.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
You said that as I had a dog jumping onto a balcony on a fucking commercial. So
okay, so
I popped for a whole different reason.
Caster went for the we missed the moonsault. We're going for the tag.
Good boy.
Well, Caster got pancaked before that, landing under that very large human being.
Fair enough.
Bowen's itching for it.
Sorry. I find Garcia's dance hilarious. I love it.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
He's Disco Inferno.
But
he's a peacock, and you got to let him fly.
He was like this technical prodigy, this young guy.
And
that
Jericho got a hold of him and just molded him into this bastardization of a professional wrestler and a sports entertainer.
You know what happened? They were hanging out. They were in like the fucking locker room, and Danny did it for fun, and Jericho's like, man, that'll get over. And he might be right.
Yeah, fuck that. Right. Yeah. Shit. Oh, Bowen's with the hot tag.
Okay, so I'm just getting the hot tag right now.
Okay, I got
up and over.
Let me know.
Bowen's on fire. Clothesline, chop, and a punch.
Right.
Both. Oh.
Let me know when you got him just working this man over with elbows and strikes.
Right now.
Okay.
Bowen's just unloading.
Right.
Love it. Let's go.
Big elbow to the back of that, just knocking
a pretty good match, considering we really only know the one team. And I again, you say what you want. You know what I mean. In this realm, they're a relative unknown. They were MIA for a minute and then change.
Well, that's what happens. The Bears got to hibernate.
Right. Touche.
Just normally it's a few months instead of
we shouldn't have brought it back in August.
Right.
No late. That's a great question. Hey, I'll throw that out to the chat if you guys think that. Does Edge make your top 20 if you were ranking them?
Again, that's another show idea of if we wanted to sit there and go through and try and do like a tier list of like top however many when it comes to pro wrestling. Oh, yeah. Well, it's all subjective.
That's it, right? I mean, and you try and find some type of objective criteria to step away, but man, we might have to take a swing at it. We haven't done it yet, so yeah.
People can't agree whether Michael Jordan or LeBron James is the greatest player of all time, or if Tom Brady or Joe Montana is the greatest player of all time. So trying to figure out who would say arguably be the top 10, top 5 greatest pro wrestlers of all time. Oh, be ready with them pitchforks, I feel.
Right. Oh, huge drop kick.
Oh,
I don't know what Iron Savages were going for, but they were playing a game of chicken, and
they were going
enough of that shit.
Dungeon of Doom spot, and only they were involved.
Yeah, what the fuck was that? And then Caster's like, wait a minute, I got an idea.
They were doing the Stewart from Mad TV of look what I can do.
Yeah, like what? Wait,
Max Caster's got this man up, Death Valley Driver.
Who is that? Jack Jameson. Wait, what?
What? Jacked ass Eric Young just now getting fucking he's gonna get the what up.
Right. Well, we're getting a leg drop, the scissor drop. Okay, so that's their manager?
Like I said, he looks like jacked up Eric Young. He looks like if Eric Young and Zack Ryder had a child.
Nick, did you watch Stone Cold ET?
What?
We got 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I halfway remember what you're talking about, but no, I haven't yet. Someone actually forcibly sent me that link, so
yeah, there you go.
There you have to acknowledge it.
Fun fact: there was another metal discovered that heals itself with sound, I think, or vibration. Yeah, we saw it in the Terminator, right?
Vibranium is only real in Marvel movies.
There you go.
Right. There's no,
JV on that good
T2000 just out here that just turns into like liquid metal and shit.
Yo, Acclaimed the mic and the boots, not salmon.
Ooh.
Yo, yeah, the Acclaim were super over, dude. I feel bad that they fizzled out the way they did, and I kind of knew what was going to happen. Like we talked about it, or at least we saw it kind of coming. Of like they got white hot, and instead of capitalizing on how hot they were, they kind of did the same thing as Wardlow. All right, here's your title. We don't really know where to go with you. Give the title back, and we'll let you float around and do not much.
It stems back to their feud with Swerve and Our Glory, which that also hasn't even finished. So that whole situation is completely unfinished, I feel.
Right. Eric's in the house as well. I noticed a few other names kicking around. Bryce is in the house.
I'm new here, so I don't know if you watched New Japan, but I'm shocked Ospreay lost last night.
It's a big shock to a lot of people that he lost, but yeah, we do watch New Japan here as well. We watch it all. We watch it all.
I'm still happy that we've now got the New Japan British Heavyweight Championship instead of the New Japan.
You notice that? I thought that was
fair. Yeah, I told you I'm an Ospreay fan. I noticed that. Billy's at home watching.
They're calling out Billy.
Said Bob. Well, my name's Billy. It doesn't matter,
right? Huge pop for Billy Gunn.
And God said,
Clarkson's in the house. How you doing,
Billy? Clarkson, what up? Yeah, we've got Bryce and Young just, I guess, having a lover's quarrel.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. We'll give you a heads up, folks. If you're gonna just ramble on, I'm gonna have to put you away permanently right now. We'll give you a little bit of a break and take a breather.
You just get the timeout.
There you go.
Oh,
in the penalty box.
Oh.
There you go.
Adamantium. Yeah. Wolverine.
So yeah, the Acclaimed are begging for Billy, letting Billy know that the crowd still love him. There you go.
Right. You guys have to delete the spam line.
No, we just put them on pause. They'll be back. But yeah, guys.
We follow the hockey rules around here. You get thrown in the penalty box. You get a 5-minute, unsportsmanlike conduct, and you just get to sit there and think about what you did.
Right. Like I said, we're always about the fun times, folks, and we're all about the community. So just keep the chat fun. Keep it alive. Do not let it go quiet. Make sure you hit that like. I know we're over 100 likes already on this stream. So let's see if we can push it to 200 tonight. And in addition to that, if you haven't joined our membership, consider doing so. Be a for lifer.
Right. And yes, she is wearing a tie around her neck. And does this not seem... I feel like there's a lot of insinuation here with the Bang Bang Gang and this backstage viewer.
Pause
Not
on
implying
that.
anything, but
Pause on that, my guy. No, Big Nick. A few science magazines are showing a study of results. All right, there we go. We're getting deep.
So then again, show me the research. Show me the facts.
But Bang Bang doing their thing.
Pause.
I don't know what the hell that was all about. Yeah, no, don't worry about it, guys. Just move on. Stick to the wrestling. Keep it coming. Let us know what you were thinking about. Hey, how about this? All the Jey Uso is all elite posts that we had to put up with over the last 24 hours.
Well, I was going to say, are we about to go into commercial? I feel like once we
we're going to commercial
we have
break.
to talk about this. Is where also, by the way, we're getting Willow the Pillow and Chris squatting Renee Statlander taking on Diamante and Mercedes Martinez.
Should be a fun match. It really should be a fun match, man.
Yeah.
There you go. So it was a clean win. Clean win. There you go. Congratulations. Right. But definitely clean win. Big win for the Acclaimed. It was fun. And I mean, they're over with the crowd. They're just a little underutilized.
Right. But we got our version of Solo, and we got Jey Uso finna be Uso Elite. So yeah, are we gonna get Gin, Juice, and Us? Is that a thing that we're gonna have in AEW?
I give the WWE full credit, full marks, because it's a wonderful thing when you put all your efforts into something. And pulling Jay and putting him on the alum page, I thought is a wonderful touch. Jay's not going anywhere. He's still under contract. We know this. It's lovely, and I hate to spoil it for everybody. But I mean, at the end of the day, I really laugh because there are some legitimate people who are like, "No, man, he's done. He's done." And you're like, "Guys, breathe."
But it's so funny. I even saw somebody that was trying to put out there of, this is actually a thing because Jay's contract is actually up at this point and it ends just, like a week or so away from All In or some shit like that. And according to Fightful, and Sean Ross Sapp just quote tweeted it saying, "We did not report this."
Oh, right. Nice.
Yeah. So it's so funny I don't know if it suffices for what happened, which I think there's interesting theories on that too, on Jimmy's explanation. But this has instantly, as much with all credit to the Bloodline, even when people are souring on them, think they've jumped the shark, all of that, they have the amazing power, and it's a Heyman, superpower to just go from negativity and just go, "Hey, look over here. See, this is really cool over here. Let's look over here right now."
And they've done it time and time again with the Bloodline, right?
Right.
It's getting a little boring. Oh, I'm feeling oozy. Are you feeling oozy? We're good for a couple months. Like, they've been really well at
Ooses, yeah, and instantly we've got a whole new story.
But I want to know how they get them back. How does this tie in? Is this where we get Rikishi? Like, Jay's at home and Keish comes walking in and being like, "You can't quit."
Is this playing into the theory that they wanted this more of a WrestleMania to kind of maybe milk this out a little bit?
How long can you leave it on the shelf, do you think? That's my question, my concern.
That's the issue. Still, I would say no one had this on their bingo card, even guessing for Jimmy's whole excuse as to why he pulled Jay out of that, which it works perfectly with Jay because he just fucked this shit I'm out of. I'm tired of this stress. And to me, is it not a bit interesting? I've seen this theory thrown out there that Jimmy's starting to slowly become what he doesn't like in Roman. He's trying to halfway manipulate. He's trying to, I know better than you know for you.
Fair enough.
He's starting to get that egomaniacal. He was the one of, I super kicked Roman because I did what you should have done. Right. I pulled you out of the match because I didn't want to see you become like him.
Interesting take. And I mean, again, for two guys that kind of foo-fooed the whole idea leading into it of like, this is probably the last way I would go. I mean, I give them credit. They found a way kind of out of it. Not bad.
Usos are like ogres. They have layers.
Right? Now, speaking of layers, we're getting the little package here for MJF and Adam Cole, their rivalry and their upcoming match at All In. Nick, you and I have not discussed this, I don't think, maybe briefly, but MJF,
I
Adam
need
Cole,
my support scarf.
right? MJF, Adam Cole being put on the pre-show to take on Aussie Open Pourquoi.
Pourquoi, bonkers, what up? Just still trying to delay. Trevor, what up? Pourquoi, very much indeed, sir. I feel on one hand where you could go with this is it's a lot of people have pitched it's Adam Cole trying to wear out Max before the main event and everything like that. It could also just be showing a way to really starting off the show, because it's got to start off the show. It's got to be first match and last match here, just for the sake of they're having two matches, of showing 100% their bond, their brotherhood, all of that, reigniting that. But what else do you do with the Ring of Honor tag champs?
Well, I mean,
it shouldn't be
saying what else. I mean, there's 50 things before you would take your main event of that pay-per-view and put them on your pre-show, risking injury, doubling up for no reason. Yeah, there's probably a list of tag teams.
It's a fitting for the pay-per-view name. It is an all-in gamble, 100%.
Yeah, I would say so. But yeah, trying to grab late buys. But no, I mean, if they're gonna split up in the pre-show to make
they won't. I think the pre-show is just that little preemptive, that little just little quick reminder.
Okay.
By the way, these guys really, really like each other.
Yeah, because many have surmised that something goes wrong they don't win the Ring of Honor tag titles because they cross their wires, they step on each other's toes, which builds what they would use to build a more intense main event. Now they're potentially going to turn, that kind of idea.
I still, do you think anything to this is a long-term plan for Adam Cole of where I'll goat him into and trying to have a second match, so he doesn't have as much in the tank when it comes to the main event.
Right. No, Rory Gunther is German Shepherd, retired from the police K9 unit. What?
Huh? Huh?
All right. Goodbye, Bryce. You can go shag a hat. Hey, big dog. Just wondering, do you have a bulldog like your pick? There you go. Now it all makes sense. Context is king, folks. Keep going in this chat. Keep lighting it up. We see 60 plus people hanging around with us. Got Team State for the win. Team Stat for the win, I guess. So yes. Statlander and Willow, you're taking them as well?
No, I was just going to point out that we do have that match kicking off, by the way. Who are you taking?
I'm going to say Team Statlander just because she's the bell holder, right?
Statlander and Willow. Oh, this is almost there. This is so fucking comical to me almost. In like Willow goes for a pin and Stat's just behind her doing this shit. Like, are you supposed to be the heels? Because you kind of just look like jackasses doing stuff like that.
Right.
I'm taking Team Mercedes and Diamante.
Wow. Okay.
We recently saw Diamante pair up with Mercedes in her match with Stat. Mm-hmm. And I think that has the makings of at least a tag team, if not some form of a faction. I've seen it floated, around that. Maybe they pair up with Thunder Rosa when she comes back. Mm-hmm. So I think there's a plan more behind Mercedes and Diamante as a unit.
Okay. Cool. Talking about my dogs. Thank you. We figured it out. We solved the riddle. Got that one. Would like to see Diamante win. There you go. Nice.
All right. MJF gets hurt in pre-show, and CM Punk is the headlines All In. No, he'll headline All Out. That's in Chicago. That's a week later, by the way.
It's a tight turn. So you imagine All In's going to have a lot of implications to
Bro, why Willow should not
all
be
out.
just in this position for a hot minute here. Book the women's division better, and that's not a way to do it.
No, not at all. It hasn't. Again, we talked about it at length this week. With again, booking better doesn't mean just put in the main event spot. That's not necessary. That's actually counterintuitive to what you're trying to accomplish. So, that being said, folks, we are rolling through the tag match right now, and yeah, Diamante in control of Willow.
Right. I've got picture-in-picture. I don't know about you, sir.
Then what's that? You're in picture-in-picture. I'm rolling
Yes,
through.
Sir. Okay. You have a retired K9? Does he constantly sniff around your room and closet? Yeah, stay away from me and my vitamins, sir.
Yes. Keep your K9 to yourself.
Right.
He's
I'll go all Bobby Hill. I don't know you. That's my purse.
That's my purse. Big tag.
I've got a tag right now from Diamante and the Mercedes.
There you go.
Wait, so Rory, hi, nice boss, and Reggie's chilling with me. Wait, Reggie is in like scripts, or Reggie is in like your dog? I'm assuming. Be cool if it's a cat. With me at the moment, he's he's high on the vitamins. He's taking vitamin C, B, and D.
Right, there you go.
Someone say vitamins. Russell.
What's going on? Way to make an entrance, my guy.
Right. Okay. Reggie, my dog.
There you go. There you go. Where my
I'm
dog's
still
at.
calling scripts just for the sake of it.
Right, you should. But Diamante in control again, still slowing down Willow Nightingale as this match continues, folks. And if you haven't made a prediction yet, you're getting a little late.
Right. EW Kicks, what up? What's up, our illustrious host in chat? What up, my guy?
What's going on?
Right. Noah Broken, he's always sniffing around the cupboards.
Him and me both.
Pause. Paul, what up? Welcome to the doghouse.
Right. Bum. But yeah, we were rolling along. I do not. What the hell was that? But yeah, no, I don't anticipate much to come from this match other than having a pretty decent match so far.
I think this is setting up a, like I said,
Diamante
more of the women's division come Collision. Now, this becomes the question. Is the women's division on Collision, I know that's a lot of Asians rhyming together there.
Right.
Is that booked better than the division on Dynamite? You know,
yes.
Like the Fuse, Bring the Boom.
It has been. The tag team division's got a really nice uptick because of Collision. And actually now we see Dynamite and even the Bucks kind of looking more at the tag team division. And I believe over the last few weeks.
Okay, you can have that.
What's that?
I said women's, but you can have that.
I started whatever. But the women's division has been booked really well on Collision. And good matches. This is a good match. Like the crowd is into it. But when was the last time you heard that much pop for a hot tag in a women's match?
I was gonna say, well, I'm back from commercial I've got Willow with a pillow slam on the Diamante on the Mercedes here.
Oh, I got Statlander running wild.
Well, I got that now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who's got something for us? You can afford to make Thunder Rosa a heel when you really have a lack of babyface. I guess can't afford to make her a heel.
Well, he's asking, can you afford to make Thunder Rosa a heel?
Can we do it? You could. I think so.
Lack of babyface women. Taya Valkyrie, Britt Baker, Statlander, Willow, Jamie Hayter. Oh, I'm reaching here for the lack of babyface women. There's very much a depth of babyface women on that roster. Sheeta. Should I keep going?
Oh, Willow spills off the apron. Bumpy ride.
Oh.
The real AEW says JV.
Backpack stunner from Diamante.
Smile Mark says Edge does not crack my top 30. Very intriguing.
Ooh. Interessante.
I think I have him some. Oh shit!
See, we've got
Dude.
teamwork here from Mercedes and Diamante as she's a power bomb, a razor's edge on the outside.
Who are they? Braun and Ricochet? What is happening?
In case you forgot, you were watching AEW. She's double flipping the birds as she goes over the top because to hell with being on network television, right?
Big suplex from Martinez, but pounced. And Willow popping up, and the crowd's into this, man. Hey, this has been fun.
The straps are down. You can't tell because of her top that she wears, but the straps are down.
Oh!
Diamante taking a playbook out of Moxley there because you could clear as day catch on the camera of her saying, "Skew," the double birds.
Martinez taking out Stat. Oh. Roll up with assistance. Winner. You got it.
1, 2.
There you go.
Oh, and they did the Uso spot. The Uso spot. Granted, that was a sloppy ass way to get to that because you constantly were like, all right, who's going to roll up who? But they did the Diamante slides, puts her feet on the back of Mercedes to help assist on the 1, 2, 3. So let's go.
There you go. I like it.
Ladies, LAX picks up the 1, 2, 3.
Big win for Martinez and Diamante, who, like you said, just got put together. And I liked how that match went. I thought that was a really solid wrestling match to keep this show rolling. That was a good one.
Right.
It
shows that the team of just because their baby faces put together, aren't going to go over the team that might have more continuity.
Right. We got Toni Storm in her, she's vibing different nowadays.
Cruella de Vil. If she doesn't botch you, no, some other woman will. Cruella de Vil. Thanks. Yeah, she's very much out here like damsel in distress, Marilyn Monroe of I'm just waiting for Lucha King to have her like King Kong hanging outside of the fucking skyscraper here.
Yeah. Honestly, Collision is way better than Rampage and Dynamite combined, dude. Brother. Collision's been great. Absolutely great.
100%.
I mean, you can't argue with that. Rampage is a non-factor for me. Rampage is a throwaway show. If Tony doesn't care about Rampage, why should I?
I was going to say, it's not just a non-factor for you. It's a non-factor for the company.
Right?
No one, it's a factor for nobody.
So, yeah, no, I mean, ultimately, I really don't care for Collision. Sorry, I really don't care for Rampage at all. Dynamite, hit and miss. Right now, I think Collision is becoming the most consistent show. Not perfect, but more consistent than Dynamite.
Fair enough. And what in the fuck is going on backstage here? We've still got backstage interviewer with just a tie to the side for some reason. We've got Toni Storm out here looking like great value Marilyn Monroe. So who throws the shoe, honestly? Who throws a shoe?
I know who throws punches. Joe is in the house.
The second best Samoan Joseph in professional wrestling right now is coming out to the ring.
How dare you?
He'll say something so bold yet so accurate.
Yeah, but he's number one in our hearts, folks.
Number 69 in your programs.
I hope not. TK really likes to feature Willow. She's a good character. But that Japan title win was due to Mercedes' injury. Really inflated Willow's worth, in my opinion. It really helped move her along, though. It made her relevant. It might have inflated her worth, but she has to step into that, and I believe she has.
Well, absolutely, and still, I mean, how
Who
many
in the
times if
name
you
of
go
Mini
across
Paul White is
anything and
this?
everything of sometimes all you need is an opportunity. And if you, to quote an Eminem right now is all you need is one shot, one moment.
Yeah.
So
Crowds always pop when walk with my supermodel girlfriend. I'm used to it. There you go, Unbroken. Live the dream, buddy.
now, are you walking with her? Are you walking behind her, beside her in the bushes and everything?
Right? Are you on the anyway.
Are you following her from the rooftops there, Batman?
Right. We got the crowd popping for Joe. Joe for the win. Yeah, Mini Paul White is not going to get it done here tonight, guys.
Yeah, it's someone I can't remember his name, but I know his gimmicks. Like he's the giant, and he's all of average height.
Right. The real AEW. Kenny versus Osby 3 at All In. Doesn't look like we're going to get that, which is disappointing. I hope we do. I really do. Oh.
What up, my guy?
What's going on, Todd? Okay, he's flipping
Rampage
around.
equals main event. Yes, it does.
Big pop for the kid who just got his head removed.
Oh,
And
well,
it's
because he
over.
came out of the Joe walks away spot and somersault out of it. We've got the Kata Hajime, the
Yeah, it's
coquina
over.
clutch. And
It's
it's all
over.
over but the crying, folks.
But man, where the crowd is jacked tonight. I will give
Because
them
they're
credit.
in Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
I don't think they are.
No, they're in North Carolina.
They're in North Carolina.
No, I was thinking of SmackDown. That was in Calgary.
Oh, that's awesome.
I was trying to give your Canadian shout out there.
It was a nice, prop to Calgary for no reason.
Yeah.
That's an insult to Paul White, perhaps.
But not the Big Show, because those are different people, remember.
My name is Samoa Joe.
My name is Kid.
Oh, shit.
My
Dallas
name is Shake Dula, the Mike Ruler. I'll bring it to you if you want
to. Bo Dallas Light. I like it. Didn't believe.
Yeah, he didn't believe. My grandma threw many a shoe. Always had that name, though.
I had a mom that chuck a shoe and was accurate.
I haven't had many things thrown at me.
Uh-huh.
So
well,
apparently I'm doing well in life, I guess.
Yeah, no, when you grew up, you caused problems. 2-1, 1-1. You see, Matt Cardona had a new Undertaker gimmick. He did in GCW. Cardona is crushing the Indies. My favorite one is the Indianapolis Jones. It makes me laugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Indy Jones has been really good. He's done like Undertaker, him and
the Indy Taker. The Indy Taker is what it was.
Right? The Indy Taker.
Yeah, 100% Matt Cardona. I think we talked about this. It might have been on Monday, might have been on Friday as well. Yeah, Matt Cardona is the guy when it comes to independent wrestling right now. He's reestablished what it is to be an independent wrestler.
There you go. Sorry, I got sidetracked real quick, Nick. It's Samoa Joe Punk. We're heading for that. Like, it's very interesting how you've built Punk and you've built Punk and Ricky Starks over the last month. And then while he's still kind of haven't figured that out yet, Joe and Punk agree to fight it all in. It's
because you want the CM Punk reaction, which you've got to at least get him on the card. Yeah. And you also have to get Samoa Joe on the card. So you can get the Joe. Yeah.
Right, but you tuck him somewhere safe, right? So Punk, where people are talking about like, well, maybe Punk and Kenny or no. They're going to put him with Joe because Joe's a safe bet. They'll take care of each other. No issues, easy peasy. Plus, it's a, part of the ongoing or the history of Joe and Punk. But is it the best booking for the show?
See, and well, it's so interesting to me for people to talk about the booking. And granted, I feel the same way we all do. But when you have guys that work within the company, because I think it was a comment from Swerve that he's like, well, they announce where the Super Bowl is going to be every year, and they announce, all of this, but you don't know who's going to be there until the season plays out and everything. That's in their head, their justification, I think, to this of, well, the venue's booked. We know it's going to be a big thing. So now it's just, you're going to just have to wait and see.
Right. Absolutely. We got to wait and see. But yeah, I mean, you're not really sewing the story properly, right? Like you're kind of getting distracted in all these directions out of nowhere. It's like, even with Young Bucks and FTR, they have been not connected in any way, shape, or form for months. And then randomly Dax is like, oh yeah, by the way, you guys, we should fight again. Like, you're like, whoa, like, for the people that were very upset about the whole Brock Cody give us a reason, we're getting a whole lot of non-reasons falling out of the fucking sky right now.
This is notorious for AEW. Of honestly, as much as we're happy that we're finally getting Bucks and FTR, I see what you're saying of, give us a reason on camera. Make it make sense for the people who don't read the dirt sheets, who aren't Meltzer, minions and everything like that. Give us the reason why this match makes sense outside of just, well, the Bucks are a good tag team and they're a good tag team, so let's have the good tag teams fight.
Yeah, let them have it out. Let them. But that's what I mean. If you have the good tag teams actually fight and actually work things out and let the division work itself out, I don't think this is the matchup. I get it how they're billing it, but I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know if I really have bought into it all. But it's going to be crazy nonetheless.
Right.
Now, I am on a commercial break. I will take a second to remind everybody, make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you join the family, become part of the chat, and make sure you are, become a member. Be a member, tell a member, be a friend, tell a friend, but share it. If you guys have any wrestling fans in your life, let them know we are covering more live wrestling than everybody else. Plus, we have original content, and we got so much more coming your way, folks. So, with all that being said, Nick is going to take a little bit of a break. There he goes. I mean, uncalled for. Let me see. That Tony Storm interview was meh to me. I mean, uncalled for. It was okay. I kind of like what they're trying to do, Marcus, with Tony Storm. I don't dislike kind of getting her away from the outcasts a little bit, letting her do a promo by herself, not really have the same look or vibe. She's a star. She is at the top of this division. She's highly talented in the ring, and clearly she's showing some versatility outside of the ring. I'm all for it. I really am. You're not injecting your vitamins. Are you broken? There you go. Are you Joe? Are Joe and CM setting up anything so far tonight? Not really. I mean, that is also a possibility. We thought that Joe and Punk were going to, we thought potentially you would see some issue with the tag match tonight, the trios match. I thought maybe Ricky Starks, but maybe it's Joe that gets involved now. Maybe Joe cost CMFTR, and there you go. Bonkers saying it as well. Welcome back, Bonkers. I know I kind of went around my elbow to get to my wrist on that one, but hey, it's a problem with both companies, FTR versus the Bucks, just because Brock attacked Cody, just because. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a wrestling thing. It's happened a lot of times. So I found where people got so stuck, like, we cannot like this Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar program because the reason they gave us was shit. And when it's happened, sometimes it's just passing in the night and it becomes a feud. It's happened before. It will happen again. But right now, here comes Christian Cage. So, yeah, I mean, I don't sweat it that much. I know some people, but again, I think my little comment is more of, we got to remember, like, both companies are guilty of this. And clearly, as we're going into All In, we saw it last pay-per-view as well. Even with Death Before Dishonor, like just dropping matches last minute with not a lot of rhyme or reason to it. But here we are. Still looking forward to it. I enjoyed Toni Storm. It's giving her personality, and she's evolving into her character. Amen, JV. I'm with you on that one. As we're getting a replay of Luchasaurus taking out Darby. No, I just assumed he learned it from the cops. I have no idea. Which company, in your opinion, has the better characters? That's a tough question as far as better overall when you compare the two. I think it's going to end up being the WWE, just in the sense of they are very character driven. They are based on, they want the entertainment side of things. We look at the Bloodline. You look at what we've done with the Judgment Day and Dom and Rhea. They're all about the pageantry, where AEW's tried to be a little more to who they, less character driven, more just like go be yourself. Does that make sense? Think off the top of my head, that's where I'm going with it. I totally agree. I mean, I understand she lost her title, but it's her opportunity to regain it at All In. Absolutely. I'm not quite sure. Again, if she's going to win it back at All In, then why? But I really, really believe, and I think they gave Sheeta the belt, so Sheeta had a reason to be in the four-way, even though they didn't need it. But it's like a nod to her. Fair enough. But I honestly fear that Saraya is going to be the one that walks out of All In as women's champion. Give her that big moment in front of the UK crowd. I think that's what's going to happen. I don't love it, because I think, similar to what we talked about with Sting and Double J, I think there could be another woman in that fatal four-way that would perform better in the ring to help that match be all that it could be. Are we surprised about anybody in particular being left out of that match? That's a good question. No, I had some runs back in the early years. Had some bumps and bruises both ways. Okay. All right, let's get back to the wrestling. MJF and Cole wrestling the pre-show at All In for Ring of Honor tag titles prior to headlining that same pay-per-view for AEW World title. It's incredibly odd booking to me. By the way, if anyone's curious, Christian is cutting a promo right now. Yeah, no, Mark, I've talked about this from day one. They announced that, and it's like, why? It makes no sense. And if you're using the pre-show for some type of angle to build to that night, I think you're not doing it right. I think if you're going to do any type of angle in that match, it should have been done the week before, 2 weeks before, and let it simmer, let it build. Let the animosity build to that matchup. But if you have the animosity build from that night to that, to the end of the night, I don't know. And I don't love the idea of your main event also being on the pre-show. Seems a little counterintuitive, in my humble opinion. Thought on Adam Cole and MJF challenging. Yeah, there you go. And again, I don't know if it's like, if you were going to put Aussie Open in All In and then go with it. I love Aussie Open, but then give them somebody that they could really shine with, right? Even if it was the Acclaimed, or I don't know, pick a tag team that they could actually really shine with. And I'm not saying Cole and MJF aren't going to shine. I'm not saying they're not talented. I'm not saying they can't carry the match or be a huge part of an outstanding match. But they're going to have this really good tag match, prior to going and fighting each other for the main event. But in addition to that, the spotlight is all about them, right? Take them out of that equation, put a spotlight on your Ring of Honor tag champions, in my humble opinion. Oh, interesting. Arn Anderson with Brock Anderson, who looks older than Arn Anderson. Okay, so Arn Anderson back. Glock Anderson in the house. Aussie versus Lucha Bros. Alexis, I like it. Something like that would allow them to put on a show, right? Let them stand out, have a really amazing tag match. And even if they, again, you can't imagine that we're going to get a 25-minute barn burner match of the year candidate when your main event talent is in the match. This is Horseman country. Crowd goes nuts. Christian Cage with Lucha Kane reminds me of the spoiled brat in high school that had the yard bully in his pocket. Amen, brother. And it works very well. One of the absolute best heels in the industry. And he continues to, it's his title. It's not Lucha Kane's title. I possess this title. Christian Cage versus Brian Cage in a cage match. Johnny Cage as special enforcer. And Nicolas Cage as special guest referee. Bash, I like it. I like it. Lance Archer deserves more screen time. Amen. I'm with you, Smile Mark. Lance Archer's on a list of people that I feel like don't get nearly enough airtime. And considering we keep getting giant Jericho segments and Jeff Jarrett matches and Jeff Jarrett angles, yeah, I mean, there's a good handful of people, Lance Archer being one of them, that I would absolutely love to see get more airtime, be more involved, be more impactful. Maybe Rage Against the Machine can play live from. There you go. Aussie Open versus Lethal and Jarrett. Keyshawn, stop that. Stop saying Jeff Jarrett's name. So Arn with the old ass smack. Get him, son. And we got Lucha versus Brock. Not the Brock you're thinking of. There you go. I think the title might be on the line. Lucha just kicking him in the face, though, so that's not going so well for Brock Anderson out of the gate, folks. If you want to make a prediction on this, why is it Luchasaurus? Ethan Page and Diamond Page. I see where we're going to go with this. Maybe get, yeah, okay. What up, Larry? How you doing? Welcome back. Anderson should be the GM. That'd be interesting. Very interesting. Could see it working. Now, it's funny because when I first saw Arn Anderson, I was like, oh, shit, we're going to get Wardlow. No, not Wardlow. It's Brock. It's baby Anderson. He's outside the ring, and Arn's giving him shit. Wait, what? Oh, there we go. Chasing down Christian Cage. Arn Anderson having none of it. You start reaching in that vest. You know what that means. Aussie Open versus Butcher and the Blade. I'd be perfectly okay with that, especially on a pre-show. And I think the Butcher and the Blade are underutilized. I think they're a really great team. Speaking of Jarrett, oh my God, we keep bringing this man's name up. Did you hear the rumor about Jeff Jarrett and Grado at All In? Yeah, I don't love it, but again, for what it's going to be, say la vie, give Grado his moment, and he'll come out, he'll go over Jarrett, have a lot of fun with it. That's where Jarrett's useful, right? He's a vet. He knows what to do. I'm not completely discrediting this guy, but you do look at how they're booking him, and it's too much. Bringing him in for a spot match like this, I'm okay with it. Like I said, give Grado his moment. Thank you, Hook. Lucha for the win. Wasn't Lucha Kane an OVW reject? Unabomb the second. Didn't work out. Page against the Machine. We got a little sidetracked there. What did I just do? Pause. Now I'm glad you mentioned Wardlow. We might still get Wardlow. Where are we going to get Wardlow? Like this evening? Interesting. Lucha for the win. Makes sense. Glock Anderson in the house. By the way, TLD, if I haven't said hello, how you doing? Bob Seger will be the entrance song for that Page match. I like it. Zoe Stark, WWE character, is better to be on Bloodline, Cody, Seth, KO, and LA Knight level. Richard, I'm not even going to try and decipher that. It was like Morse code. Go home, Jeff Jarrett. Listen, again, not that Jeff is completely lacking of some value to wrestling and AEW. It's just not in that role, not in that position. Speaking of positions.
Oh, I was going to say, speaking of lacking of talent, but
Come
yeah,
on.
no, Jeff Jarrett can just piss on off home. Go deal with your Jarrett for gold and your 8x12s and all that.
Right. Grado looks like Ricky Gervais' son. Amen.
When you call my name, I want just to hear that Grado entrance at Wembley with that audience. Yeah. That's it. I don't give a fuck anybody beyond that.
And you give Grado his flowers, right? Like, that's a huge moment for him. And like I said, I'm assuming he'll come out, he'll go over Jeff Jarrett fairly quick, but it'll be all.
It needs to happen.
Yeah, and it'll be all pageantry. It'll all be dancing and smoking mirrors, but it'll be fun. Mm-hmm. But I mean, if other than that circumstance, I don't care for the idea.
Right.
Kip Sapien underutilized, yes or no?
Little bit. I think he's caught up in the last I knew, kind of halfway with the Butcher and the Blade, halfway Dark Order, the Righteous, all that. He's lost in the mythos with that.
Lost in the mythos. Ron Duffney in the house. How you doing? Welcome, Ron. Tony back. Good to see you. Who else we got? Vance is here. If we haven't said hello to you yet, Vance. Double J is only good in small doses. Well, speaking of small doses.
Well, he's good in no doses. That's what he is. He's the no dose of pro wrestling. As Cage is going to take a little pause for the cause. Ron, what up? I still want to keep calling you Ron Burgundies. We're back from commercial break as we've now transitioned to Lucha Kane Kanosaurus versus Brock Anderson. And 3 count already as Lucha Kane wins with a clothesline to the back of the head. Not a choke slam, not any real establishing move. Oh, Darby snuck in. Darby just flailing away with the skateboard. When did Darby become skateboard like Tony Hawk Batman? With this fucking skateboard and the fucking cowl and shit. But it's so interesting. Isn't he supposed to be dealing with the Mogul Embassy, him and Sting and Nick Wayne? Are we going to still see him? Well, because he did win the Battle Royal to where he still gets a shot, I believe, at the TNT Championship. Saying he's going to shove a skateboard up Christian Cage's ass. What? Pause. I'd love to see the Butcher and the Blade in the House of Black. They make sense as if the House of Black really expanded and you it became more like the Ministry and stuff like that. That's where it makes sense. I'm torn between D because she could be a great female trainer. Well, yeah, because I was someone saying earlier about how she's an underrated or underused talent. Well, she's technically not a talent. She's technically an agent, much like how Jeff Jarrett is supposed to be. And same thing with Madison Rayne, which both of them have really had more matches than I feel like they've booked matches. So that's a problem. Larry, what up, my guy? As Darby's out here halfway cutting a promo. I missed what he said. Hopefully Darby will just win and drop it to Swerve wide. Jamie Hayter is still nursing injury. Yes. She's apparently still very much seriously injured and I think part of what led to this is because she was still she still had a match or two while she was injured. And she kind of Paul Orndorff herself. Yeah, and Darby just still, he throws the hood over himself and is just sauntering off. Of he's AEW's fucking Batman, apparently. Or, well, oddly enough and fitting enough, of he's there Sting instead of with a baseball bat. He's and dropping from the rafters. He's just, dropping in on the half pipe with a fucking skateboard. Jericho versus Jarrett in a post-it war in the office. In the offices. No, just have those two in a both of you leave town match is, I think, at this point where we go. That's where I would say. Really, I didn't know Dee was an agent. Yeah, she's supposed to be. It's amazing how you don't know how many people are supposed to actually be agents. Looking at you, Jeff Jarrett, Pat Buck, Madison Rain, etc. That end up still having matches and still becoming performers for AEW, much like how their EVPs are supposedly their top talent. Supposedly. Swerve deserves the title. Yes, he does, but you have to make it make sense, and you have to make it make sense as to how it got there. I mean, everybody popped and lost their mind when it was Swerve and Our Glory as tag team champions. I don't think we get tag team champs of him and AR Fox. Does he beat OC? I think he beats OC before he is winning a TNT championship, because that's still the question of who, when, where, and why does OC lose his international, intercontinental, all-Atlantic, European, North, Midwest, Atlantic, South Pacific championship? Louis, what up? Larry, Big Dog, VHS, what up? What up? What up? What up? What up, Louis? Hey there, Russell Vance, just popping in for a few moments to say, hey, busy day at work, so I can't stick around. You can always still watch us on the replay. You can still always, catch up with us later. Get the words out. I am in commercial break right now, folks, so I will take this moment to remind everybody we are the Wrestling for Life Network. We do this for anything and everything. When it comes to pro wrestling, we were here all week with Monday Night Raw, Tuesday night NXT, Wednesday night Dynamite, Thursday night we're here covering Impact. We even watched MLW Fusion. Sometimes we're watching Ring of Honor. We got you covered. We're any bit of wrestling on Thursdays. Friday we were here for SmackDown and Rampage as well, and we're back at it like a jackrabbit for Collision. So 100%, if you haven't done so already, be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, and subscribe live. Mulder, what up? Where's Miro and Andrade? I was hoping to see them every week. Yeah, but that's the thing, though, is at times, and wrestling fans, I don't know, I feel like they're one way and they're back and forth with this of at the same time, as much as you want to see so-and-so every week, but then when you do see them every week, then you get sick of them, you get tired of them, you get bored of them. I think that they're showing that they have enough depth and enough talent that we don't need a jobber squash match from Miro every week. It's still nice when we see it because it's Miro. We like to see Miro. And you can sit there and sell it from Andrade's recovering from the ladder match, which granted now negates it because Murphy's still in action tonight. But you can diversify it a bit here. As I've got Powerhouse Hobbs coming out right now, and very much still holding the book of Hobbs, verse and chapter, 16, 13, I feel here. I want to see Miro involved in an actual story. Yes. Hobbs has the book again. Yes. Is he not Ezekiel or Elias? Well, speaking of those two names, when are we ever going to see them back in WWE? But is this, instead of the book of Eli, we've got the book of Hobbs here. Where's Calvin, though? Why isn't Calvin wrote in a book here? We've got Hobbs's book. Why haven't we gotten Calvin's? Give me a Miro and Hobbs feud. No, you get, someone you're trying to push versus and going against someone you're trying to push. And how do they both get over? Hobbs versus Miro. Yeah. No problem, Boston. I send the fire department with a bucket of water to pour on you and my dog to wake you up. Or is that just to help you stay hydrated, big dog? Could be either or. But I got Hobbs right now here cutting a promo. When he's talking about the place where Collision began, so we're still talking about Chicago. Is it interesting that Collision's starting to build more towards All Out while Dynamite builds towards All In? Don't forget Ahmed Johnson. Yeah. I hopefully Hobbs does not go the way of, say, a Stevie Ray or an Ahmed Johnson here. But we're going back to the Book of Hobbs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
10.
We got the KJ commandments. 1, 2, 3. That was unnecessarily perfect timing there. So.
It was really good.
Right.
Miro Hobbs as a tag team? Shit. Run.
Right. That's the tag team name. Run.
Right. But they don't need any Hobbs doesn't want any help, as he just explained.
But he needs apostles if he's out here writing the Book of Hobbs here.
Right. I like that he's got the book again. And I like this. He's doing very well with this promo. And he's calling out the Redeemer.
Oh, really? And while everyone was... all right, I'm going to just stop talking about some shit, I guess, when it comes to wrestling, because everyone's here like, Miro versus Hobbs, I want it. And I was
there you go.
Nah, it's heel versus... it's tweener versus tweener to an extent a bit.
The pop for Miro was outstanding.
Let's go.
Yeah, Keyshawn, I'm with you.
I can't be mad as two big beefy boys slapping meat, but now I just feel like I got egg on my face if everyone was talking about this and I'm out here poo-pooing it, and sure as shit, that's what they do.
Dude, I don't know if it's the Saturday Night Vitamins, but this fucking entrance just hits hard.
Yeah, this is fucking Apollo Creed versus Ivan Drago here right now.
This is burn the world down. This is outstanding.
I must break him.
I must break him.
If he dies, he dies. If he writes a book, he
Boston, this one's for you, Nick.
Called it, Nick. Give me my props. Like I said, I gave everyone their props. All of the crow. I got all of the
wait a minute
pie on my face.
Oh, so yeah, where people talked about them tagging, it would be against these two.
Damarato.
Wait, I'm confused.
Who gives a fuck? Oh,
wouldn't they jump Hobbs for leaving?
But did he leave?
Oh, son of a bitch. Can we just get rid of QT Marshall? He's another guy taking up spots from people that could be using them.
Yeah, we're sick of it. We moved away from QVC from our generation and everything. Can we just finally now start to move away from QTV?
Oh!
Spinebuster. Shout out to Arn Anderson that we had out here earlier, and Triple H or even Bautista with that goddamn Spinebuster.
Right? No, he flattened him. The Pearl River Plunge, Rory. That's all I'm going to say.
Is he what?
Well, he said Ahmed Johnson. I remember him. He had a look out. Yeah, he wasn't very good.
And he drops the good book on him here. He's laying down the Book of Hobbs on him.
Todd reminding us we had a librarian once upon a time.
Yeah, blue pants. And then Tony stopped answering her text messages.
It's a showdown of the big beefy men.
Right. You would have figured I would have been behind it here. It's big beefy boys slapping meat paws.
Pause on all of that.
Right.
But yeah, Miro's the one that got slapped this time. He's down. So we're going to get Miro and Hobbs in some capacity.
Interesting.
I like it.
Right.
QT is a heat magnet. Not really. I don't know.
You misspelled shit.
Yeah, shit magnet. Yeah, no. QT to me doesn't bolster the right type of heat.
We got the Guns versus Young Bucks, by the way, this Wednesday, and we've also got OC versus Christ. Now I forgot who he was facing, but we're going to sit down with Kenny Omega. Oh, and we get the Texas Chainsaw video game match, TNA Impact Revolution match between Jeff Jarrett and Jeff Hardy.
And Britt Baker versus the Bunny. Again.
Hippity hoppity. Baker's on her way.
They'll put that match in the main event. We know Britt's going to win it. So it's a tune-out match.
Oh, you have to put fucking Jarrett and Hardy in your main event.
But look what they've been doing. Will they break pattern?
If they do that, then that's the times they are changing. That's a sign of, like I've at least said, of a knee-jerk reaction.
Next week, Diamante taking on Willow Nightingale, but Darby Allin is going to take on Christian Cage. Let's go.
By the way, I will say shout out at least to AEW. I know we kind of poo-poo them, but they're all everything from, or at least part of the whole fight for the fallen things going to Maui for the fires going on over there. So 100% respect with that.
Absolutely. Looks like Miro debuted for the first time. Hobbs is a liar. Miro is like, I hate books. Remember, he denounced everything. He doesn't care about the book.
I can't read. He's like Floyd Mayweather. I can't read.
I don't know what it says. The book. All right. I hope the Bunny beats Britt.
Team match. Player. Holla, holla, holla at All In, by the way.
Very much so. I hope the Bunny beats Britt. I wouldn't hold your breath. Coffin match. I'm so down for that. Is it a coffin match?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was watching the video and they were announcing it as a coffin match between Swerve and AR versus Sting and Darby.
Why can't it just be a match?
Because there's nothing for Sting to jump off of.
I love that they give Jim Ross his special little entrance, bring him out for the main event.
My God.
The voice of wrestling.
He really has. He's kind of gotten to that point to where he's, I guess, for the American audience, if you watch the college football pre-show there on ESPN, he's your Lee Corso. He's your 100% of him. He's your Michael Buffer, kind of.
He's definitely that voice. He's like, what's his face? We were just talking about him the other day. From the Cubs.
Oh, Harry Carey.
College
football game day. That's what I was thinking of. But yeah, he's 100%. He's your Michael K. If you're a Yankees fan, when you think pro wrestling, you hear Jim
for
Ross
a lot of us.
or anybody.
Yeah,
people do impressions of wrestling commentators, and they do an impression of Jim Ross.
For a lot of us, that's what it is, and he is the voice. You think of some of the best moments in WWE history, and it's him screaming over it. He's outstanding, and he is what he, I know some of the AEW fans didn't love him, and he kind of got himself in hot water in the beginning of being a little too honest, like a sober John Madden.
Now, boom.
We're assuming part of that.
Right.
Here comes the House of Black.
For him to come in for one match a week, I have no problem. Fair enough.
No.
Well, now this would be a question of, depending on the certain vintage you are as a pro wrestling fan, is who's more of the synonymous voice of pro wrestling? Is it Jim Ross or is it Gorilla Monsoon? And even though I would argue when it comes to Gorilla, is it more Bobby Heenan?
No, because Gorilla was still the lead, right? So I think that
Heenan to Gorilla was Jerry the King to JR.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you go back a generation, a lot of people would say, I recognize Gorilla as well. For sure. First, there you go. For him to come in for one match, we got no problem. Got that one. Marking out hard. All right.
Fair enough. Saying he doesn't go by his birth name at all. Well, Spoiler alert, I wasn't born Big Nick. I grew into
Pause the fuck on. There is no way I could ever choose between Monsoon and Ross. No way. Yeah, I think they were both the same thing, different generation, right?
I'll take JR.
Right? And you go back to like Gordon Soley and shit.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Right? Like it's different strokes.
Well,
like,
then you get the Vince McMahon with it's unbelievable. Oh, what a maneuver.
For some people out there, their answer is Michael Cole.
That's the new generation. That's
exactly, right? So
that's how we establish if you're new around here.
Right? You get all those Cena matches called by Cole, all those big moments through the ruthless aggression. Cole. So yeah, I mean, and I remember when Cole came in and everybody was like,
did he not have though? And someone said it. I can't remember who, that he had the fucking Danny Glover. I'm fucking the Murdoch. I'm 2 days away from retirement face when he was on SmackDown.
Right.
Like I said, or like we both agreed on, if Training Wheels was a commentary team, that is what we are right now.
It's like they put him at the kids' table, but he wouldn't behave, so he had to sit between.
But that's the thing, is Kevin Patrick looks so excited, and Corey and Michael beside him looked like they could not give a shit less.
Yeah, and they let Kevin lead a lot, but
Training Wheels.
Any of the big moments.
Go ahead, son. You can ride a bike.
Yeah,
you can stay upright.
When it transitioned to a big moment, Nick, it was all Cole, right? Like Cole's calling like the bloodline shit, and it was funny. It's very much like learning on the job. Like, all right, we let you do it. It's not going so well, but stay here for a second. It's adorable.
We've never seen on the job training on national television until now.
Not often.
It's normally in-house. It's normally behind the scenes. If you're not normally doing that on national television.
Right. Triple H should bring back Motto and fire Kevin Patrick.
My people.
It would be nice.
Please.
I think it's Jim Ross. It is Jim Ross. We can.
Or is it Ross Jim? Is it good old JR?
Or snap into a Slim Jim?
Is it snap into a Slim Jim Ross?
So the House of Black are still in the ring waiting their challengers tonight. It's funny because Buddy's like, not only will I not put tattoos on, I will also not paint my face, guys.
Yeah, but Buddy is jacked as shit compared to the rest of them.
No, he is.
Like the other two, you believe they're still pro wrestlers because they're big motherfuckers. Buddy, I ain't fucking with you. Like, no. It's just, no. I might be bigger than you. I might be taller than you. Just no.
Mm-hmm. Bucks are going to cost CMFTR. I'm leaning towards Joe at this point, to be honest, TJ. What do you think? A lot of people think in the CFMTR. Wow, completely botched that. CMFTR.
No, you actually got it right.
Did I? My brain botched it. A lot of people thinking they're going to lose by crook on this one.
But what if they win?
What if they win would blow my mind. I wouldn't. I'd be like, what?
I think. Well, we've had a fair amount of.
Well, then that's going to be your vote. I'm going to go. As Punk is on his way out.
I think they win. We could, like I said last night, this is setting up All In. We need to build a second pay-per-view. Fuck the first pay-per-view. We need to build a second one.
Right. Lance Russell. There you go. Lance Russell for sure. Big dog.
Russell Wilson. Who?
Oh, look. Gordon Soley. Someone on my page. There you go. Now that's pre-us. That's pre-me. Like just but definitely
of being alive.
Yeah, absolutely.
You said Gordon Soley, so it's like that's pre-me. I was like, what? Being alive? Like,
yeah. Definitely for sure. Who was better, Soley or JR? I mean, again, for me, JR. Like, I grew up with JR, and when you say wrestling, and I just instantly think of all those calls, right? Especially through the Stone Cold era. Man, it was Money in the Bank.
This could be a product of the match that it was in, but you can still vividly, you can live out the Hell in a Cell spot, at least between Taker and Mankind.
Oh my God, yeah.
And you can hit the commentary from King and JR 100% of that. Shows you the level of iconic that it is, of that moment in time lives in forever.
Right. No, you're
I
not
don't
wrong.
think any other commentator in wrestling has a moment that lives in time infinitely.
And I think when you go back a couple generations, it was a more subdued calling. Like they were very sportscaster, right? It was very different, right?
And now coming off the top rope, hitting the clothesline here.
Hey,
That's
Bill,
what we'll do. We'll call the whole next match, all old school style here. This is Big Nick and KJ White here, coming from live from Wrigley Stadium out here in 1975 Chicago.
FTR with the belt. Nice clap for FTR. I want to see if he gets booed or cheered.
CM Punk, real world champion. In parentheses.
I find it amazing that they keep calling him that, and they put it on the graphic and everything. Like they're running with it.
Why it's still interesting to me as to who turns on who when it comes to Adam Cole and MJF, because we're still setting up down the road, somewhere down there, between CM Punk and MJF.
Right.
It's not, you're not doing CM Punk and Adam Cole.
No. Well, you could, but I don't think that's the payoff. That's not the money match.
You fucking shouldn't. You could. You could do a lot of shit. You could stick a fucking fork into an outlet. You shouldn't do it, but you could. I think MJF is your money feud when it comes to babyface or heel versus CM Punk, or if he can work that back and forth, literally. Could you imagine two guys that can both literally, depending on where they go, one's the heel, one's the babyface, and they can both play it properly?
Yeah, absolutely, Nick. This match is kicking off. Looks like Cash is going to start out going up against Buddy. And somewhere right now, Jim Cornette screaming at his TV because Jim Ross just said House of Black remind me of like the Freebirds. It's like,
Cornette's out there. Elizabeth. Well, it'd be Stacy.
Has Punk closed every collision but one? No.
Rocco, I don't acknowledge you because you heel turned on me, and you
announced. There you go.
The worst thing you could do is you announced you heel turned on me.
I feel like FTR didn't close down. Oh, Punk getting the quick tag.
We got Punk versus Murphy.
Did Joe call out CM Punk for All In? Yes. I believe so.
Does one of these people in this ring look like a pro wrestler and the other one looks like your lunatic uncle at a barbecue? Yes. Right. I'll let you decide who's who.
But yeah, big cheers of Punk. That's crazy. So, I mean, it feels like at times, depending on where he is geographically, he's getting love in some places. He's not getting as much in others.
Who do you think is the best announcer or commentary team in wrestling today? Dang. You're watching them.
Amen. I'll take it. Yeah, no.
I get a hallelujah?
Hallelujah.
Oh, my brother, testify.
It's tough. I mean, I really like
talking outside of us, Pat McAfee.
He's not a team, and he's not even there.
Well, God damn it, I want him back.
Well, I mean, I guess he said best announcer. I'll give you that. You like McAfee. McAfee's a good color guy. I mean, overall, but I mean, I think Dynamite could use a revamp of their team. I like Collision a lot. I really like Ring of Honor. I love Riccaboni.
Best team? Well, I was being partial there, and of course, I picked the color guy. There we go. But for best team, I would say it was Wade and Cole on SmackDown, honestly.
Fair enough.
But I would say probably Nigel and Kevin Kelly.
Nigel and Kevin Kelly's a good shout. I like it. Tony Schiavone or Michael Cole? Schiavone, come on now.
Wait, did you just say you would take Schiavone over Michael Cole?
Oh, no, he's worse.
Oh,
he's
okay,
worse.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
No, thank you.
I didn't see the back end. I just heard you say it, and I'm like,
Schiavone's
did
just
you
a
just take
soundboard.
Schiavone over Michael Cole?
Yeah. No, Schiavone's just the soundboard at this point. He yells out,
"Shut up, Schiavone!"
But he's a great go do the interview guy.
Yeah, he's a Marvez. He's a Renee Moxley good.
Marvez sucks.
Marvez is just creepy. He's like a fucking
Oh, dropped old. And we're off.
He's like, what's his name? The Lord, whatever the fuck his name was. That was the backstage interviewer for WWE for the longest time in like the 80s.
Yeah, Lord, what's his
Lord Alfred. Am I wrong? I'm probably
maybe. I think that's Batman.
wrong.
Does CM Punk calling himself the real world champion devalue MJF's title run? Not at all, MJF. VHS.
Or JV.
Or JV.
No.
Too many letters.
Right. Oh.
House of Black looking like Rob Zombie cast. Yeah.
Yeah, Madurango. Number 95.
Do you know what's crazy about this? The crowd is cheering every tag. Like they're having these moments, they make a big tag, and the crowd is cheering for the tags. I love it.
They like both teams.
But Brody is in the ring, and he's a completely different animal as he is chopping down Dax here. Oh.
Brody looks like he's a guy who played an extra on fucking Planet of the Lost Apes and never for fucking got out of character with that shit.
Right.
He just literally would just fucking throw you around.
Right. I'm thinking Cole and Strong turn on MJF, possibly join up with Taven and Bennett to reunite the kingdom. That's been my call. I like it.
I've thought about that.
Now it doesn't
very
look
interesting. Very interesting.
And I feel like they're leading us left, so I feel like that's what they're trying to kind of hide. But we'll see. I mean, it would work.
But see, that's the thing is with like say a WWE when they lead us left, they go right. With AEW when they lead us left, they go up. It's like what the fuck? How did we get here? I popped this man. Lord Alfred Hayes. There we go. Thank you. Michael P.S. Hayes. Lord Alfred Hayes. Yes, Lord Alfred Hayes. There we go. I was halfway in the ballpark. Not at all. I got the Alfred part right, goddammit. I just missed the Hayes part.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't think he was a fabulous Freebird.
He was not. Big tag for Punk, another big pop. And again, we got FTR and CM Punk holding court.
Yeah, it's literally Malachi's having to hold back Brody, which, by the way, Malachi is very, for any Slipknot metal fans out there, he's very much kind of got the Corey Graves of just the all white face right now. But Buddy, newly engaged Buddy, he's just like, well, I just had engagement photos, so I can't have any face paint on my shit.
Man, that
keep my photo clean.
People have done some outlandish shit with that engagement picture. It made me laugh. Constant, like the one with Dom over their shoulder, the one in Paul and Roman, Triple H and Vince. Been good stuff. But we get a tag into Malachi Black, and the fans stand at the idea of Punk and Black getting in the ring together. And they're, again, it's paced, Nick. It's strategic. It's methodical. They're taking their time. They're building this match. It's not just go.
It's everything's built to a presence. You're built to a presence between Malachi and CM Punk to where it has that momentum. It feels that importance behind it. Like I said, even we get to
nice. Shot to the lower back.
Wow. That's a really good combination of just literally we're getting missing high kick, we're getting spinning back elbows, we're getting liver shots. These guys are both known for quote unquote being MMA trained.
Malachi taking out FTR, but getting scooped. No, he gets out. Wow, just misses Black Mass, and Punk does a little bit of mind games.
That's such a good fucking shout, though.
That was
such a good shout to where you have it where it could have been the go to sleep, rolls out into misses the Black Mass, and CM Punk sits down and just does.
Here we go.
Back at him.
Now we're having a little chit chat amongst the boys.
Has Malachi Black become way better of a character and way better of a personality or like a persona in AEW than he did in WWE?
I think so.
As much as we all liked Aleister Black.
I think what he wanted Aleister Black to be on the main roster WWE, and we got everybody brawling,
is what we're getting in AEW.
Yes. I mean, I feel like, and we all wanted him, like, just stay dark, stay ominous, don't be flaky. That 50-50 booking didn't help him. And I do agree. I think he's come, and with the House of Black, I know at times that we bagged on it, but it's gotten really good.
It dips into the fantastic without being full fantastic.
Yeah. Like, they're not setting people on fire and making people, they're not sucking people up under the ring and shit, but they have that vibe. But
I mean, they have corrupted. Why am I blanking on a name there? Never mind. Moving on.
Punk is still champion, according to Punk, the real world champion.
Right. Julia Hart. That's who I was thinking of. Corrupted Julia Hart. I had the first name, not the last name.
Yeah, that took too long to do, and it was a bit slow and poorly executed.
Yeah, but no one's. Well, Brian Pillman's allegedly potentially in another company, and no one's seen Griff Garrison. Griff Garrison's on a fucking milk carton somewhere, probably out in Idaho. Have you seen this boy?
NXT callback. Okay.
Well, a bit with the both they take the sit down pose and everything.
Right.
It goes back to
that's it. Okay.
He who shall not be named Dream, and Malachi.
Say my name. Say my name.
No,
KJ,
don't do that.
Big Nick. Question of the day: where does MJF's title reign rank amongst the 6 champions who have had or held the world title in AEW? Just add to that. It's a great question. Good job, JV.
Number 1. Unbiasedly, number 1. I can make a case, Your Honor.
You might not have to. I mean, I feel like he's in the top 1, 2. I'm just trying to think of a comparable.
The only other one would be Kenny.
Kenny's run was
maybe Jericho because he was the first, but Jericho's I understand that everyone's like, oh, he hasn't defended that much. But yeah, it's been the most fucking relevant and
fair enough.
Gotten the most screen time and seemed the most important since he won. Well, him or Punk would be maybe a 1 or 2.
Punk's just got so kind of swallowed up. And again, not like a whole bunch of it's not like you put together a string.
Everything swallowed up in that all out shit. So
and it's not like he put a string of a bunch of wins together, right? I mean, that's a tough one.
Put a string of injuries together is what he did.
I might highly consider your argument as far as as far as the champion kind of being relevant. Adam Page's run was meh. I like Jericho's first run, and I mean everyone's heard me and how I feel about Jericho consistently. But at that time, that was what was needed, and I thought he did very well then.
Everybody really likes Adam Page because he won it or because of the quote-unquote story behind it. No one gave a fuck after he won it, though.
Right.
Everybody went to the fait accompli of once we reached the goal, we just stopped caring.
Right. Yeah, no, you're completely right. I see MJF and CM down the road. Yeah, no, absolutely. You're not playing this game unless the two are going to collide.
Right.
And that's your money match. Like that is, to me, when we talk about the elite and we talk about all the big players in AEW, out of everybody, your money match is MJF and CM Punk. That is your fucking needle mover. That is 1 million people tune in on either show to see what they're about to do to each other.
Is that a bigger needle mover? Or is it CM Punk versus Kenny Omega, or CM Punk or CMFTR versus the Elite?
Now
which is your biggest needle mover?
Right now, I believe it's that. That's why it comes first, because people do want some resolution to that. And I always said, Nick, like Tony had to turn that fall. The brawl out at Fall or at All Out had to become money. Whether it was, people said, well, it was always a work. Well, fine. Cash in. Make it count.
100. Well, we all kind of halfway know my feelings on this before I go into tirade here. Yeah, Steve G, what up? Hangman's reign was meh. Larry asking the hard-hitting questions out here of, should I go for triple lemon or red velvet cake?
Ooh.
Sky blue cake.
Right.
Or Nikita Lyons cake. Or Gigi Dolan cake. But
right. Oh, big chop.
Red velvet, even though it's just chocolate with food coloring.
Yeah, I mean, shit. How do you make me choose between cake? That's the hardest question of the night. Can I have one?
I don't know. It's summer, so maybe lemon.
Go a little lemony. I like a good lemon cake. I mean, red velvet. You can never go wrong with some red velvet.
But is there not? Oh yeah, running kind of a run through knee there. But especially when you have a major pay-per-view a week after you have allegedly, supposedly, potentially your biggest pay-per-view of all time, and you have a storyline that is literally gift wrapped, signed, sealed, and delivered for you, why not capitalize on that in some way? And especially you get gifted that it's in Chicago.
Yes. And again, if you can be mature enough to make it business. Wow, back body drop for the tag and Punk's in.
Oh, but even if the Elite win, still them winning in Chicago, and you get the fucking NWO reaction. You're getting paper cups and you're getting beer cans and everything else thrown in the ring. Swing neck breaker.
A couple things. I've seen arm drags, drop toe holds. I've seen, over
arm bars.
Like arm bars.
List.
Big knee on Murphy. I mean, again, good, just some real nice traditional wrestling. True or false for you in the chat? Is what we're seeing from Punk now better than when he first returned to AEW as far as in-ring? Does he look better now? And I think the answer is yes. I think Punk looks cleaner. I think he's moving better. And I think he looks in better shape.
And he hits a spinning high kick. But does he look on the caliber he was at before he left? That's a question.
That's what I'm saying. So when
there's still a difference. He's better than when he came back. I'll give you that.
Or
I'm saying when he left, is he at that level?
It's so hard.
That was a different level of Punk still.
Yeah. See, and when Punk at the end of that run, I think of the botched, the
breaking down, the injuries stacking up. So
Malachi yanking Punk off the top as Julia Hart running interference.
Right.
Nice.
Well, we even had Punk last week doing the you've been hit by, you've been struck by a Chicago criminal.
I like that. We got arm bars, but no ice cream bars.
Well, right. We got arm bars, but no ice cream bars. And Larry's saying, thanks, I'll go for both. Yeah, we were out here. Both. Right? Both is good. Both.
Variety is the spice of life, my guy. But
I say no when feeling yes feels so good.
Right. But Brody just pancakes Punk. Now we're out on the floor. Again, good match.
Right. I feel like I should use that when it comes to, hitting that like, that subscribe button and everything. Why say no when feeling yes feels so good? Why? And it's free and it costs you nothing, folks.
CM Punk ECW was great. Okay, Jay.
Did you just slip into Canadian and say CM Punk?
Yeah, CM Punk.
Oh, no, it's not that
way. Blame the Canadian for the Puck reference.
Listen, if there's anyone that's going to slip up Punk and Puck, it's you, not me. It's you.
You know what's funny? I didn't realize he had spelt it that way until you pointed it out.
My brain I was like, wait, that's not right.
Punk just got Brodied. Yeah, hard.
Is that the new way of saying you got bodied?
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair enough.
Big chop as they wear out. And I like it. We got the hot tag. We had the baby faces on a comeback. They get cut off. Now they're wearing out Punk. I love it. I mean, this has been solid, dude.
Oh, absolutely. And well, think about it. Theoretically, if we're going till the end of the show, there's another 10 minutes of here to go through and nothing's felt lagging. It's really we've more had to break into what we're talking about and talk about what's going on with them and just really stop and like, oh, this is a really good match.
Wow.
This is good.
Wow.
That's the difference is Dynamite at this point has become sports entertainment. Collision is pro wrestling. If you're that type of person that wants to make that differential, there you go.
Well, it's funny now because it's like you almost have your Nitro, your WWE product, and then Dynamite is shifted into like the pseudo ECW role, like the third tier show that's like got all the fucking nails and hammers.
We already got Thunder with Rampage, so fuck it.
Right? Like fuck. It makes me laugh how they kind of have it all worked out. But 2 count on Punk. And we are back here live.
Huh?
Punk seems to be having fun in the ring.
Huh?
Just Punk's having fun. CM Punk in Ring of Honor. Now that was great. Yeah, that's his heyday. That's his, that was him at his best.
I would argue it's not him at his best.
Okay. I can be swayed that
him at his best is still where are my ice cream bars?
Fair enough. Yeah.
Because that established him on a different level.
Right.
Hi, Cole Cabana. I'm breaking the fourth wall. That's still to some people today is still a shoot.
Right. And yeah. No, you're not wrong. I could be swayed that way enough, but I mean, yeah. Neck and neck, 1A, 1B. I mean, I really do like what he accomplished in Ring of Honor. And again, it was just at that time so edgy and so, again, he kind of stood out amongst the crowd with what he was doing. But again, I'm not that sold on it. Punk seems to be having.
Oh, you're not going to address Todd out there saying, speaking of which, whatever happened to Red Velvet? Oompa loompa.
She get hurt.
That's what I feel like. She just became a red velvet cake instead of being red velvet.
Right. She was a baddie, and then I think she might have got hurt. I don't know. She's good though.
I think she caught the Brandy Rhodes complex there, or a bit. Well, no, because her and Brandy were tight as could be. So I think she might have just fucked off on that way.
Right. CP Monk.
CM Monk. He just comes out with a Friar Tuck haircut. CM Monk. CM Monk.
Oh, buddy hits a go to sleep. Oh no, Punk did. Wait,
Punk hits a go to sleep.
Yeah, Punk did it. Shit. I looked away for 1 second.
I was gonna say, yeah. Buddy and CM Punk, both completely interchangeable body types. 100%. So dude, similar.
They were in the wide cam. Leave me alone.
I think your brain's in the wide cam.
Buddy was in control. I looked at you, and then I looked back and I saw the move, and I was like, wait.
This isn't a fucking Old Spice commercial over here. Now look at him. Now back to me. Now look at him. Now back to me. Brody back in, Brody from Cash, and Brody doesn't even move, doesn't even budge, doesn't even acknowledge it. Oh, I like how you got to chop the big man down.
King is, and I love what they're doing here. It's like, it's not Brody King taking huge bumps for, a Jackson or a Darby. Like, they're literally throwing drop kicks into this man's chest, and he's refusing to go down.
So interesting, and I'll say it this way: this is not modern wrestling in the sense of this is the wrestling of certain people of a certain vintage grew up on. This is what you know as pro wrestling.
Yeah,
this is not your modern match to where you've got a springboard, a tope. There's no dives.
No.
You're not getting.
No, we're about to get a tope though. I think.
Yeah, but still, either way,
you build to it. You build to your crescendo.
Right, you got me out here, Porky picking it out here.
But yeah, no, there it goes. Oh, tope.
Tip, tope, folks.
We got a tope wheeler on the floor, and as he dragging Brody back in, I know you're completely right, Nick. It's what we like said, like the baby face have a comeback, the heels cut the comeback off, then they have another comeback. They even closer this time, cut them off again. and you build. Like the crowd's not supposed to be standing and screaming at the top of their lungs for every second of every
am
move.
I wrong in
There's a
thinking
build.
that there's literally just certain wrestling fans past this point almost don't know that's normally the pacing for a wrestling match?
Yes, and what I think is happening is the more we're seeing matches like the FTR matches that we've gotten recently, and more of this collision style
But that's why
match
they've always stood
is
out. That's why they've always been in one of the top tag
right.
teams. That's why they've
Mhm,
Christ.
mhm.
Even with no Briscoes, no none of that for this year, where they were still like the 1A to the 1B. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
But you're absolutely right. That's why, and that's where I believe them fighting the Bucks is great. Them fighting Lucha Brothers is great because they elevate those teams because they slow them down and they make their moments matter as they both get dropped by Brody. Brody still being a problem in this entire match for them. I love it.
Absolutely. Well, and I think that's what you've even seen of like matches when they had with the Acclaimed and the with Big Bill and Brian Cage of
Mhm,
so where you have those moments to where they can still lead. They are the perfect dance partner you want when it comes to tag team wrestling right now. If they
mhm,
will literally, even if you don't know what the fuck you're supposed to be doing, they will walk you through
mhm.
a perfect match. It's
Yep.
at times though, I don't know if it's the AEW effect or what, to where they overstay their welcome, or they just kind of
Mhm.
they're too good at what they do that they lose their dancing partner. They start,
Mhm. Yep.
hitting the gritty on them and everything, and their dance partner can't keep up with them.
Yeah. No, absolutely. As Brody pushes Dax to the mat, as he's trying to go up top.
Headbutt.
Oh, yeah. I'm just getting the headbutt. Oh,
I got
man
Brody
down.
climbing on the top rope right now.
Do you want to see Samoa Joe for Punk at versus Punk at Wembley? I want to see Joe and Punk. I love the idea. I just don't know if it's the best booking for the show.
I feel like we've been there, seen that
Yeah.
recently too.
Yeah, we have.
Right.
Double superplex!
Brody goes
Elbow!
flying, and we're getting the elbow
Ah,
from CM
dude!
Punk, and that was a shit elbow.
No, not bad. He saved it.
No, that was a falling. That was not a leap. That was no jumping involved. There was no vertical
Well,
extension there. That was a
you
fall.
gave us a little Woody Harrelson. Okay, fine, but whatever.
There was
He
no
landed it.
jump. That was a
He
CM
landed on
Punk can't
target.
jump.
Right? He landed on target. I'll give him points.
Well, it's a fucking big enough target. I would hope you could land on a fucking crash pad.
Right? And little things. Nigel just points out on a crash pad. He did, kind of.
Right.
Brody King's a pretty big. Oh, they can't do it. No shatter machine. Oh my God. Brody has become the star of this match. Shatter
Honestly, though,
machine.
when has Brody not been that, bro? Oh,
No,
big
this is.
rig! Double big
Oh,
rig!
wow.
Buddy up
Meteora
top.
instantly grabbed his eye, though.
Meteora.
Brainbuster.
He took that dick hit to
Malachi's
the eye.
back. They kicked each other.
Oh, V-trigger! V-trigger
What
from
a
Malachi.
match.
And I like that, the double head kick. Oh my God, this is still going to keep going. Fight forever. Fight forever.
Listen, man, they gave him lots of time and little details. I love the little details. Like Nigel says, like they go for the pin on Brody there, and he goes, he didn't grab the leg. He needed to grab the leg. Like little things that are coming back into this show that help tell that story.
Right. Tope con Punko.
Fight that butt! Bam, bam! Two! Julia Hart on the apron. Joe! Oh, no.
And
Oh,
that
no.
was very much, that was a Bam Bam style, like you said, of that's not the Benoit, the diving headbutt.
No,
That's
it
just
was
a fall.
Yeah, the teeter. But here's Joe putting Punk.
Joe with the kata hajime, but the ref is distracted as CM Punk is going nighty-night. Keep your butt hold tight. Pause.
And Brody King to me was the absolute beast of that match. That was excellent.
Brody King has been the beast of them.
No, but I think in a lot of the matches,
I know.
House of Black, Nick, where it's so chaotic and it's that all over the place trio style match where again he's taken a lot of big bumps to little guys and he ends up like he's lost several times. Where tonight it just looked like such an insurmountable force. It was like a much better booking for him, in my opinion.
Oh, 100%. This This was arguably one of, if not the best pro wrestling match that we've watched this week.
Chocomo Joe.
Check him out.
That was a great main event.
Oh, absolutely. Brody King is the best bug man in the business. He's just not known. What? You mean big man? Okay, I'm assuming.
What do you mean? He's like,
no, he just hates bugs.
That's on his side gig.
He's the exterminator. Instead of the Terminator, he's the exterminator.
The exterminator, right?
How Brody King is being booked in this match is how every big man in AEW should be booked or used. Yeah, but they only have what? Oh, 3 of them.
Right? No, but it was beautiful. And I mean, you talked about it last week with FTR and going up against Big Bill and Cage, and they look half decent as a formidable unit. Again, FTR elevating them, but they had to chop these big men down. It's not just you bump for everything we throw at you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I think that, like I said, of what we were talking about earlier, if that goes to a bit of the way FTR is as tag team wrestlers, if they don't want to even be singles competitors, they want to just be the best tag team to ever do it in pro wrestling. And I think they very much have staked their claim.
Absolutely. Absolutely, my guy. But I will let everyone know that Collision has come to an end. And we will take your ratings out of 10, folks. Still got 50 plus people hanging around here tonight. So Nick and I are going to keep talking. But you let us know.
Maybe I'll throw on ESPN, see if what I still got left of this fight night, if that's still going on. But Rory out here saying Malenko was great back in the WCW days. I still remember playing the old, since we were talking, I think, or at least off screen about wrestling games and everything like that earlier, of the old WCW versus NWO revenge and everything like that. Of Dean Malenko was one of those sneaky picks of that Texas Cloverleaf was a fucking bitch to be in.
Oh, it really was. And again, he a legend. I mean, what a technical wrestler he was in his time. But yeah, no, absolutely. I think we got some ratings. Bullseye. There we go.
Right. Oh, okay. So I am in round 4 in the welterweight main event.
Of what?
Vicente Luque versus Rafael Dos Anjos on UFC Fight Night right now. Now it's buffering because you talked about it. It got offended because you talked about it. So it's buffering now.
Where is my buttons? All right, folks. We might just stick around and talk for a little bit until you guys all decide to leave. 8 out of 10 says Dale. 8.5 says Boston. Great show, 8.5. See you Monday night. Ding, ding. Bobby, good to see you. 9.25 out of 10. Larry, going big. Dude, what?
What?
8 out of 10. Says Bobby, I'm kind of with the group here. I'm going to give that a solid 8 tonight. Show of the week.
Oh, congrats. I think...
Or are you going to give it to the Bloodline?
Look, no, it's not even to give it to the Bloodline. I think if there is a show that can compete with that, it is SmackDown at this point, because of, I know obviously we had it out, in fits about the whole situation with Austin Theory and Ronald Mysterious and Escobar, which I think Rory's saying this is playing out just the same way as it did with the LWO and WCW. So I think the past 2 nights of pro wrestling have been the best 2 nights of pro wrestling this week. Yep. I think character-wise, storyline-wise, big moment-y wise, SmackDown wins out on that aspect. But as far as in-ring quality, hear me out, as far as in-ring quality, Collision wins. So I think they're kind of 1A, 1B at this point. If we're going just weekly ratings out of the shows.
I think I like Collision better overall in 2 hours. I think it's neck and neck. Valid points. And you might argue that the Uso moment obviously was the biggest moment of the week. But I think from start to finish, overall, Collision was a fuller show for 2 hours.
Fair enough. And there's still people that don't feel as much as the Uso reaction, the deuces, ooses, may have not sufficed that whole explanation of I did it because I didn't want you. He did it not for The Rock. He did it to not be Roman instead of doing it for Roman. I think that might have not felt so great with a lot of people.
Okay. Oh, it hasn't started yet.
What?
Fight night.
What are you talking about? It hasn't started yet. I'm in the 355, 54 in the main event.
Okay, that's I'm being lied to. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'm watching it on ESPN
Live
Plus
now.
I've got, like I said, I've got Vicente Luque versus Rafael Dos Anjos right
what
now.
Is happening in my life? It's literally looking at me saying live coverage will begin shortly.
It's Canada. Blame Canada. Blame Canada.
That had a PLE vibe to it. I mean, I love it. I think everything on Collision feels serious for me, Nick.
Right, but so, well, with that saying that it felt a PLE vibe, well, when you feel serious around a bunch of nonsense, you're always going to seem more serious than you actually are. I don't know about a PLE vibe to it. Fast and Furious taking off. So he's
like,
strapped on and strapped in.
I was like, he went by quietly for once. I was like, okay, just a few. And then he had to like, oh, Nick.
Right, like I said, he's strapped on and strapped in. But I still think that it's still great as a weekly show. It does not have to be a PLE every week.
No.
It's still great as a weekly show. But I think to view it in that way is because I guess you're expecting so low out of AEW at this point.
Right. What did Keyshawn say before I click on the big one? But we got a bunch of ratings in here. 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 6 out of 9. Yeah. Anyway, 8 out of 10.
We got Ghoulie out here saying, somebody in chat, I missed the finish of Collision. What happened?
Joe cost a CMFTR the match. That's what happened in a short story. Yeah,
to make a long story short there, of everybody kind of fell out to the outside after, big spots, big transitions, close false finishes. Joe snuck up, hit the Kata Hajime, the Coquina clutch. And then CMFTR took the loss to the House of Black.
Would it have been cooler and more noteworthy and more of a pop and a buzz if at the end of that match, the Young Bucks slid into the ring and jacked FTR and slid out and left again? So they don't have to interact with Punk. They just run in, run out, and leave.
Well, that's what I was saying. I think this is where it gets weird, because you have to establish Punk versus Joe at All In because you've decided that's the way you're going to go. If I'm really looking to build and really want to fucking build in to my show at Wembley, I have the Young Bucks interfere, and they're the ones that cost FTR. They don't fuck Punk. Punk can figure out whatever he needs to figure out. They're good enough on the mics; they can make it work somehow, some way. Your moneymaker, if you're gonna do FTR versus the Bucks, that's your moneymaker. And so you lean more into that. You make that. You have the Bucks come out and they interfere, and that's what still starts to add in. You get the people online of these motherfucking Young Bucks sit there and cost them the match.
Oh, there it is.
What?
No, there it isn't. It's all right. I'm fucking around.
You're good. Yeah. I was saying to me, I would have the Young Bucks come out there, and that builds up more to their match at all.
Yeah. But it would be such a big deal, right? Because it's almost like they crossed enemy lines to do it. It would be like, oh my God.
Well, and that's the thing, is it builds to that. And it gets the people of, was that a work? Was that a shoot? Because everybody still likes to look at that of, is it working? Who's it shooting? Do they actually like each other? Is it just an on-screen thing? Do they actually hit each other backstage?
Yeah. And you're like, well, we know there was heat backstage. You've heard the stories. Like, oh my God. Right.
Play into the dirt sheets like WWE has done 100%.
I'm not getting UFC. I'm getting boxing on this particular situation.
Fair enough. I think that's our sign then of maybe, closing
We're getting
time.
close. I mean, it feels quick and easy. J Deal is up soon. That why? No bonkers. No bonkers. No, don't fall for it. That's adorable.
Don't believe the hype. Like Flavors Flav once said, don't believe the hype.
He ain't going nowheres. Nowheres. They will do this as part of the story. There will be a tie-in, but he is going nowhere. And anybody that reports he's going somewhere should be asked to stop.
Yes, but they did what they did because they knew they were going to get the reaction that they did.
And you let
I am what I am, and that's all that I am.
And you let everybody have that pause. Everybody takes a breath. Act.
Literally.
Next chapter. Here we go. Next inning. Do you hear Kurt Angle saying it was the 8th inning and Paulie's full of shit?
No.
Kurt Angle on his podcast said, "Oh, I heard what Paul said in about the 3rd inning. They're in the 8th, and they don't even know. Paul doesn't know what's coming next. I can hear him now. Like, what do we do? What do we do?"
Yeah, because Kurt Angle's the good fucking spokesman for Paul Heyman there.
Paul answered
good old
back.
Kurt.
Yeah, what did Paul answer back? Paul answered back very sarcastically with, "Oh shit." Oh, it was funny. Paul instantly didn't waste any time. Once Paul was aware,
he's dead.
Yeah, screw him. He's dead. But it was something like, I don't know, something about. It was a
fair enough. By the way,
a pot shot at his career.
Fair. Well, he just has to mention how Meltzer never gave him a 5-star rated match there, and there we go.
Heartbroken.
Right. That'll just cripple a career right there. That disqualifies him as being a Hall of Famer. Vicente Luque picks up the win at the end of UFC Fight Night, by the way.
There you go. We're wrapping all the things up.
Right, like I said. And now the time is here. And so I face the final curtain. My friends.
Is SmackDown in Canada this weekend? Could be why Jay is off TV. That is beautiful, Smile Mark. They are going
because then why the fuck is Jimmy there?
They might not. I heard the Bloodline is not slated to be on next week at all. And it could be
if that is the case, that is a genius way to do it.
Yeah.
And
I quit.
How befitting Paul Heyman, the evil genius. I just don't want to give them enough credit, I guess.
Right. Then 2 weeks from now, he's like, "I'm back, bitches."
But it's do they bring him back in 2 weeks? How do they bring back after he shows up and takes on Kenny Omega at Wembley? How do they bring back Jey Uso?
That's the announcement on Wednesday. It will be Jey Uso versus Kenny Omega.
Fucking Joshua Fat 2 is all elite meme has been literally that's all everywhere. I've seen for about 24 hours.
It's amazing. And it's so funny. But I believe it will be Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso at Payback. I still believe that.
It would be the most fitting, apropos name for a pay-per-view for them to have Payback on each other. I've seen people, like I said, that want to hold this out to WrestleMania. That's far too long.
Yeah, and especially with this quitting thing, like you can't have them at home for 4 or 5 months and then bring them back in January and be like, "I changed my mind. Now let's fight."
You know what?
March or April.
I mean, honestly, they kind of did it with Jimmy when Jimmy was hurt.
Fair enough.
It could maybe if he just kind of fucks off for a while and then he comes back as main event Jey Uso.
Maybe. Omega is more than likely to take on Takashka. I don't love it.
I've heard that for all out. I keep getting mixed up as to which one's first, all in or all out.
No,
I guess you got to go in before you go out, so you can't go out before you go in.
Okay. You can't go in or out. I think I glitched. So
no, you're still glitching. You're out there in the metaverse.
What is happening in my life?
Again, it's telling you closing time.
Yeah, I'm going to the minute I
SRS said his contract is up. I think he's still signed up, but come back when, we don't know. Bonkers. I've seen SRS literally react to people saying, oh, well, this is all because of Jay's contract being up. And, oh, well, it just so happens to end just coincidentally around All In and everything. And even he's come out and said, we did not report this. I don't think that it gives that their contract status, if it is even close, matters any bit in this.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, no, I'd love to respond coherently, but it's a battle at the moment.
You're good. Seeing Joe choke out Punk made my night, says Larry. What if they did Roman versus Cody versus Seth at Mania?
No, stop doing triple threats to everything.
Well, no. Have you heard the outline theory?
Bird's the word.
Well, I said a bird. The bird is the word. I said a wide. The what is the word? That we, instead of Cody versus Roman at Mania, what if we got Solo Sequoia versus Romulus Reigns at WrestleMania 40 and that main event? We build all the way to that.
I don't see it. I don't see it changing from Cody. And I don't see Solo. I mean, Solo has been great, but he's brand new. Give him time. I don't see it. Last 8 out of 10. Did you give a rating? I don't know if you gave a rating.
I think we both agreed around like an 8.
Yeah, I'm going 8.
I gave Collision an 8. Cody, Roman, Gunther. Yep, those are wrestlers. Michael, GMTA. Glenn Lock, meantime, what? Is he even GMTA?
I'm out. What is that? No, folks, that is everything tonight. We are going to wrap it up. Yeah, pauses everywhere. Pause. But thank you for joining us tonight. It was a fun Saturday night. We are back. If you don't see us tomorrow, you will see us Monday. But click that little bell. You never know when we're going to pop up. Check out all our links below. Be a part of the family. Great job, Collision. I'm loving this. Good job. And I have a ghost in my room too.
I was gonna say, and the KJ bot is running out of batteries, so I need to go fucking recharge them right now. So our shit is real, our shit is raw, our shit is authentic. When you're talking about that wrestling, you better put that for life with it. Deuces, ooses.
See you on the flip side, folks. Have a good night. Bye.